My dad ordered me to attend my Golden Brothers art show, threatening to cut me off if I didn't comply. My dad ordered me to show up for my brother's big art show, threatening to cut me off. They didn't know I'd already built a six-figure tech career and left their shadow behind. My dad ordered me to show up for my brother's big art show, threatening to cut me off. They didn't know I'd already built a six-figure tech career and left their shadow behind. My phone buzzes again, rattling against the granite counter of my Seattle loft. Jace's name flashes. Sixth call today. I ignore it, watching rain streak the tall windows. The city's gray glow a world away from the dusty Nevada trailer I fled at 19. I'm 28 now, a software engineer with a fat salary, but to them, I'm still the shadow who should snap to attention. The voicemail icon pulses. I hit play, bracing myself. Elise? It's Dad. His voice rasps thick with that old authority. Jace's gallery opening is next week. You will be there to support him, or don't expect another dime for that fancy life of yours. I laugh sharp and bitter. They don't know I haven't touched their money in years. My life's mine, built from scratch. I sip my coffee, the steam curling like the anger I've tamped down too long. An email pings. Your brother's art is the family's pride. Be here or you're out. From Dad, of course, all caps and guilt trips. My stomach knots, not from fear but memory. Jace's sloppy sketches pinned up while my perfect grades yellowed in a drawer. I glance at my degree, at least Marie Carter B.S., computer science magna cum laude, stashed behind coding manuals, a secret I've kept from them. Why? Old habits, maybe, or the hope they'd see me without me begging. That chance. Dad's voice loops in my head, commanding, oblivious. They've never seen me, not the late nights debugging code, not the promotions, not the life I carved 1,200 miles from their spotlight. I set the mug down hard. Jace, their golden boy, gets a gala. I get threats. Fine, I'll go back. Not to grovel, not to fold, but to stand in their glare and make them look. My fingers hover over the airline app, pulse thrumming. This time, I'm not hiding. This time, they'll see the woman I've become, whether they're ready or not. I sink into my couch, the Seattle rain a steady drum against the windows, and let the memories creep in. At 10, I won a county coding contest, my first program, a clunky game that took weeks to perfect. I rushed home, certificate clutched tight, only to find Mom stapling Jace's finger paintings to the fridge. That's nice, honey, she mumbled. Not even glancing up, Dad was out back framing another of Jace's smudged landscapes. I stood there, invisible, the paper wilting in my hands. At 15, my science fair project, a solar-powered water purifier, earned a shiny trophy. I begged them to come, but they were at Jace's soccer game cheering his third-place ribbon like he'd won gold. I hauled that trophy home alone. The buses hummed, drowning out the ache in my chest. They didn't ask about it. Jace's team spirit filled dinner chatter for days. The sting wasn't new, but it sharpened each time. A blade I learned to carry quietly. Senior year was the breaking point. A thick envelope from the University of Washington arrived. Full scholarship, computer science. I dreamed of it, sleepless nights coding in our trailer's dim light. I showed them, hands trembling. Dad squinted. That's far, Elise. Jace might feel bad if you go off like that. He's got community college lined up. Mom nodded. We need you close. Close for what? To fetch Jace's paintbrushes? I saw red but kept my mouth shut. I nodded, printed a fake local college schedule and packed a duffel. 2 days later, I boarded a Greyhound to Seattle. Heart pounding with terror and triumph. They thought I was 30 miles away, dorming at some nowhere school. I sent vague texts, kept the lie alive, and built something real: top grades, internships, a career they'd never guess. The thrill of that secret still buzzes in me, a quiet rebellion against their blinders. Now, I hold Jace's gallery invite, glossy cardstock, his name in bold, some abstract smear dubbed visionary. My laptop glows beside it, open to my latest project, a security algorithm for a startup due next week. I traced the invite's edge, anger flaring. They framed his every scribble, bragged to neighbors about his genius. While my Strata report cards gathered dust in a shoebox, I taught myself Python at 14, hunched over a library computer because our dial-up couldn't handle it. No applause, no framed code, just silence. Jace got a parade for breathing. I got chores and shrugs. The unfairness burns, but it's fuel now, not just pain. I've soared higher than they ever dreamed, and they don't even know it. I think of Dad's voicemail, that gruff ultimatum, and Mom's brittle voice echoing it in my head. They think I'm still their backup plan, the spare tire for Jace's spotlight. My fingers itch to call back, to spit out the truth. I don't need your dime. I haven't since I was 19. I've got a corner office, a 401ks, a life that'd make their jaws drop, but I don't. Not yet. I want them to see it with their own eyes, not hear it over a crackling line. I open the airline app, the flight to Reno staring back at me. My pulse kicks up a mix of dread and steel. Going back isn't surrender, it's a reckoning. I booked the ticket economy this time. No need to flaunt it yet. The confirmation chimes and I lean back, staring at the ceiling. I've spent years proving myself to myself, but this trip, this is for them. They've ignored me too long and I'm done waiting for permission to shine. I close my eyes, picturing the trailer, chipped paint, sagging porch, Jace's art tacked up like trophies. I see Mom fussing over him, Dad barking orders at me like I'm still the kid who jumped to please. That girl's gone. I'm not the shadow anymore. I'm the storm they didn't see coming. The rain outside slows, a soft patter now, and I feel it. A shift, a resolve hardening in my bones. I'll walk into that gallery, head high, and make them look. Not at Jace, not at some conman's promises, but at me, the daughter they never bothered to know. The one who didn't just survive their neglect, but turned it into something they can't ignore. I exhale, slow and steady. Time to go home. Time to stop hiding. The Nevada heat hits me like a slap. As I step off the plane in Reno, the dry air sucking moisture from my skin, I rent a compact car. Nothing flashy. Not yet. And drive the familiar stretch of highway toward home. The trailer comes into view. Its faded aluminum glinting under string lights strung up for Jace's big night. I park, dust swirling around my sneakers, and take a breath. I'm not here to blend in this time. Mom's at the door before I can knock, her smile tight as a drum. Good. You're here for Jace, she says, thrusting a scribbled list into my hands. Fetch ice? Hang banners? Set out snacks? No. Welcome home. No. How are you? I clench my jaw, swallowing the old hurt. Dad lumbers out from the garage, wiping grease off his hands. Tables need setting up for the display. He grunts, eyes skimming past me to the horizon. I nod, the weight of their indifference settling like sand in my lungs. Same as ever, Jace's moment, my labor. Inside, the trailer's a shrine to him. Canvases propped against walls, paint fumes thick in the air. Then Jay swaggers in, all tousled hair and smug grin, trailed by a guy in a tailored suit. Elise, meet Victor Miles, Jay says, like I'm lucky to breathe the same air. Victor's mid-30s, slick as oil with a smile that's too polished. He's the agent, the money behind this show, and Dad's already half in love, clapping him on the back like a son. Victor's handshake lingers, his grip firm, assessing. Heard you're the tech whiz, he says, voice smooth. Seattle, right? I nod, wary. He launches into a spiel about exclusive art deals and investment pipelines for Jace's work, tossing out buzzwords, NFTs, private buyers like confetti. Dad's eating it up, nodding like Victor's some prophet. I ask casual as I can, what's your gallery's revenue model? Subscriptions, commissions? Victor's grin flickers just a second. Oh, a mix, he says, waving a hand. Proprietary stuff, you wouldn't get it. My gut pings evasive vague. I've debugged enough bad code to spot a glitch. Dinner's a makeshift affair. Take-out pizza on folding chairs, the trailer too small for a real table. Victor dominates, spinning tales of art world connections, dropping names I can't verify. Jace preens, Mom beams, Dad hangs on every word. We're talking six figures minimum, Victor says, leaning back. Jace is the next big thing. I chew my slice, silent, watching. When there's a lull, I try again. Which exchanges handle your sales? Any blockchain receipts? It's a fair question. Art's gone digital and I know the tech. Victor's smile freezes, then thaws fast. Private platforms, he says, smooth as glass. Exclusive access, my network. Dad shoots me a glare. Elise, don't grill him. This isn't your office. Mom sighs. Let's keep it pleasant. I bite my tongue, the dismissal of familiar jab. Victor winks at me, like we're in on some joke, but my skin prickles. Something's wrong. His answers don't add up, and I've spent years chasing patterns. After, I'm stuck folding programs. Jace's face smirking from every page while they laugh over beers outside. I sneak a glance at Victor, leaning close to Dad, his voice low. Big opportunity coming. I catch, and Dad's eyes light up. My stomach twists. This isn't just hype. Victor's selling something and they're buying blind. I think of my Seattle life. Late nights tracing data trails, spotting fraud in lines of code. This feels like that. A hustle dressed up as hope. I stack the programs neat and sharp, my mind racing. Jace's art's decent. Sure. But not six-figure genius. Victor's the key and he's too slippery. I slip my phone out, snap a photo of him through the window. Dark hair, sharp jaw, that too perfect smile. I'll dig later when the Wi-Fi's not spotty. For now, I'm the errand girl again. Invisible unless I'm useful. But I'm watching and I'm not the kid who'd shrink anymore. They don't see me yet. Fine. I'll see them first, and whatever Victor's hiding, I'll find it. The desert wind rattles the trailer's walls and I feel it. A storm's brewing and I'm not running from this one. Morning light seeps through the trailer's cracked blinds, and I'm already awake. Coffee bitter on my tongue. I couldn't sleep. Victor's slick grin kept slithering through my dreams. I'm wiping down a counter when Dad's voice drifts from the porch, low and urgent on the phone. Yeah, Victor says it's a lock. $20, $0 into his auction pool. Guaranteed returns. My chest tightens. That's our emergency fund. The last cushion from years of lean winters. I step closer, ear straining. He's handling it personally. Dad adds pride in his tone. I want to scream. He's a stranger, not family, but I hold back. Then Mom shuffles in, her eyes darting. Elise, she whispers. Victor needed something for a shoot. Said it'd boost Jace's profile. I gave him Nana's pearl necklace. My breath catches that heirloom her mother's passed down with stories of grit was our one piece of history. Now it's in Victor's hands and she's fidgeting like she knows it's wrong. Rage flares, hot and sharp. He's not just taking their money. He's looting our roots. I slip outside, needing air, and fire up my laptop in the rental car. The trailer's Wi-Fi's a joke, but my hotspot hums. I dig Victor Miles, art agent. Nothing solid at first, just fluff pieces. Then a forum post. Victor Tate, scammed me, fake art sale, gone in 22. Another, Victor Lang, took deposits, vanished. 3 cities, 3 names, same MO. Charming hustler, big promises, empty pockets left behind. I print screenshots, hands trembling, and cross-reference photos. It's him. Same jaw, same smirk, just different haircuts. My analyst brain kicks in. He's a pro, preying on dreamers like Jace, suckers like Dad. Nana's necklace flashes in my mind, and I see red. He's stripping a spare piece by piece, and they're thanking him for it. I grab the evidence, a thin stack of truth, and head back inside, steeling myself. The trailer's buzzing, Jace prepping canvases, Mom fussing over snacks. I catch Dad alone, poring over a ledger. We need to talk, I say, voice steady. He barely looks up. Victor's a fraud. Look. I spread the papers, aliases, victim stories, timelines. He's done this before. Taken money, disappeared. Dad's face hardens. You're out of line, Elise. This is Jace's shot. I push a photo forward, Victor or Tate grinning at some gala. He's got your $20,000 and Mom's necklace. It's a pattern. Jace storms in, paint streaked. What's this? He snatches a page, scans it, then laughs cold. You're jealous I'm finally making it. Always gotta tear me down. Mom trails him, wringing her hands. Elise, why can't you support him? I bite back a yell. I'm trying to save you. But it's like shouting at a wall. Dad slams the ledger shut. Enough. You're ruining his week. The rejection lands like a punch, familiar, but heavier now. Victor's claws are in deep and I'm still the villain. I retreat to the porch, evidence crumpled in my fist. The desert sun beats down, mocking me. I think of my Seattle loft, clean lines, quiet, victories, and wonder why I came back. To be ignored again, to watch them bleed out to a con man's tune. Nana's necklace haunts me. Pearls she wore through dust storms, now collateral for Victor's lies. And that $20,000, Dad's late nights at the garage, Mom's skipped dinners to save it, gone in a handshake. My throat burns. I've traced bigger scams at work, shut down hackers with less proof, but here, I'm powerless. They don't want truth. They want Jace's shine, Victor's promises. I kick the railing, frustration boiling over the galleries tomorrow, and Victor's got them hooked. I snap a photo of the papers, upload them to my cloud, just in case. I'm not done digging, not done fighting. Even if they hate me for it, the wind kicks up dust, gritty against my skin, and I feel it. I'm alone here, but I've got sharper eyes than they'll ever know. Victor's not winning yet. The gallery opening sparkles under strung-up lights. A parking lot in Reno turned into Jace's stage. I'm lugging a crate of programs when Victor strides to the center, unveiling Jace's masterpiece. A loud mess of reds and blues framed like it's art's holy grail. I stop cold. It's his old garage painting, tarred up with gloss and a $10,000 tag. My stomach twists. This is a scam, not a breakthrough. Victor grabs a megaphone, voice booming. Big news. I've auctioned Jace's inspiration, his grandma's pearl necklace, for startup funds. Fetched $5,000. Mom's gasp cuts through the applause. Her hand flies to her neck. He said it was just a shoot. She whispers to me, voice thin. I feel nausea rise. He didn't borrow it, he sold it. Then Victor doubles down, and Jace's new series? Pre-sold to a collector. $15,000 upfront. Jace grins, soaking it in, but I spot Victor slipping cash to a greasy guy in a suit. No paperwork. My heart races. He's pocketing it, playing them all. The crowd cheers, blind, and I'm choking on fury. I push through, cornering Victor as he charms some buyer. We need to talk. I snap, shoving my phone in his face. Screenshots of his aliases glaring. Tate, Lang, Miles, same hustle, different masks. His eyes flash a predator sizing me up. You're too smart for your own good, he murmurs then smirks. Prove it, sweetheart. He saunters off cool as ice and my blood ignites. I whirl to Dad who's gripping a beer by the tent's edge. Victor's robbing you, Mom's necklace fake sales. Look, I thrust the evidence at him. He bats it away, face flushing. You're embarrassing us, Elise. Get out. Jay storms over, paint flecked and furious. You've always hated my shine. Crawl back to your nerd hole. Mom hovers, silent eyes on the dirt. Their words slice raw and deep. A lifetime of dismissal crashing over me. I'm trembling, but tears won't come. Not for them. I stumble to my car. The desert night thick around me and slump against the hood. My phone pings a work email. A code review due Monday. Feels like another planet. Victor's smirk replays. Mom's shock, Dad's roar. They're drowning in his lies and I'm the enemy for pointing it out. Nana's necklace burns in my mind. Pearls she wore through dust storms. Now cash in Victor's pocket. That $15,000 sale, a handshake and a wad of bills. No trace. He's gutting them and they're clapping for the knife. I kick the tire, anger spilling out. My sneakers scuffing the rubber. I've cracked tougher cases at work. Tracked hackers saved millions, but here I'm nothing. They'd rather lose it all than hear me. My chest tightens, not just for the theft but the betrayal. They choose his con over my truth every time. I drive to a motel, neon flickering in the dark, and check in fast. The room's stale, AC rattling, but I collapse on the bed staring at water stains on the ceiling. Why fight for them? Dad's growl. Mom's flinch. Jace's sneer. They don't want rescue. They want Victor's fairy tale, but Mom's pale face haunts me. That split-second doubt in Dad's eyes. They're in too deep and Victor's laughing his way out. I grabbed my laptop, fingers flying a quick search. Victor's collector has no digital footprint. Another phantom. I email my PI friend from work attaching the shots. Urgent dig on this guy, full history. If they won't listen, I'll build a trap for when they fall. Exhaustion drags at me, but sleep's a stranger. I'm done pleading. I'll shove the truth in their faces even if they despise me for it. The motels fills the silence, a cold lifeline. Tomorrow's the crash, ready or not. I'm not running. I'm standing tall, fists clenched for me, not them. 2 days after the gallery opening, my motel room's a cocoon of stale air and buzzing silence until my phone erupts. I'm sipping lukewarm coffee when it starts. 14 missed calls, texts piling up like debris. Dad's voicemail cracks through first. His voice a broken thing I've never heard. Elise, he's gone. Victor took off last night. Everything's empty. The auction money. The sales call us. Please, my gut clenches a grim satisfaction mixing with dread. Another message, Mom. This time trembling. The bank's freezing our account. Overdrafts from his transfers. We're ruined. Jace's text glows next. You were right. I'm sorry. Help us. I set the mug down, staring out the grimy window at a sun-bleached parking lot. They believe me now when it's too late, when the con's run its course and left them hollowed out. I feel no triumph, just a heavy, tired ache. They only see me when the spotlight's smashed. I book a flight back, landing in Reno by noon. The trailers are wreckage when my cab pulls up. Tables toppled from the show, wilted streamers snagged on the porch. Mom opens the door, eyes red, hair uncombed. You came, she says, voice small, stepping aside. Inside, Dad paces, phone dangling from his hand. Cops say it's a long shot. No contracts, just handshakes. He mutters, then looks up, desperate. You've got money, Elise, right? We need a loan, something to tide us over. Jay slumps on the couch, paint-stained jeans swapped for sweats, staring at nothing. Mom twists her fingers. The bank's calling in debts. Victor drained us. I drop my bag. The air thick with their panic. Nana's necklace, the $20,000, that fake $15,000, all gone. And they're turning to me like I'm their ATM. I warned them and they shoved me out. Now they beg. I lean against the wall, crossing my arms. I can help some. I say, voice flat. I'll hire a fraud guy I know. Cover the overdraft to stop the bank hounding you. But I'm not bailing you out. Dad's face twists. What's that mean? I meet his glare. I told you Victor was a crook. You threw me out. I'm not replacing what you lost chasing his lies. Mom's eyes well up. We're family, Elise. I laugh short and sharp. Family didn't listen when I had proof. Jace shifts, voice low. If you'd pushed harder, maybe I'd have seen it. The blame lands predictable as sunrise. And I shake my head. I did. You called it jealousy. Silence stretches thick and jagged. They're grasping, but I'm not bending. Not this time. I pull out my phone, scrolling to my Pi's reply. Victor's trail's cold, offshore account suspected. Here's the deal, I say, looking at each of them. I'll handle the fraud report. Get you a lawyer for the bank, miss. That's it. I've got savings. Yeah, but it's mine, earned while you ignored me. Dad's jaw drops. then snaps shut. You're doing all right then? I nod, steel in my spine. Lead engineer, 6 figures, been on my own since 18. University of Washington, not that fake local college you thought. Mom blinks, like she's seeing a ghost. When did this happen? While you were framing Jace's doodles. I say no venom, just fact. Jay stares, something flickering, shock, maybe shame. I step forward. I'm not your fix. You figure out the rest. Dad starts as your father, but I cut him off. You don't get to pull that now. I grab my bag. The trailer's walls closing in. Still bare of anything mine. No trophies. No diplomas. I'll wire the overdraft payment through my guy. No cash to you. Lawyers on me. One call. That's where it ends. Mom reaches, then stops. Elise. I pause at the door. I tried to save you before. You didn't want it. I walk out, the desert heat swallowing me whole. They're stunned, scrambling, but I'm not their shadow anymore. I'm solid, real, untouchable. The cab waits, engine humming. I don't look back. They've got my terms, my truth. What they do next isn't my burden. A year later, I'm in my Tacoma cottage, sunlight spilling through the skylight onto my desk. My degree, Elise Marie Carter, B.S. Computer Science, magna cum laude, hangs proud above it, no longer buried. The Seattle loft's gone. I traded it for this place. Wood floors, a porch, a backyard where I've planted marigolds. They're blooming now, gold against green. And I kneel to weed them, dirt under my nails. My laptop chimes a video call from Priya, a shy 16-year-old in my STEM mentorship program. I aced the coding challenge. She says eyes bright, told them I'd build an app to track water quality. Thanks to you. I grin. You did that. Not me, own it. She nods, fierce. And I feel it, a spark, I've lit one. They never saw in me. The call ends and I step inside, the quiet wrapping me like a friend. My phone buzzes, Aunt Lynn's monthly text. Dad's hauling scrap. Mom's waitressing. Jace paints at the flea market. Therapy spotty. No calls your way. I sip tea, the boundary solid as stone. They're clawing back from Victor's mess. My fraud guy traced him to a dead end. The lawyer stalled the bank. I paid the overdraft, nothing more. They've got no claim on me now. At a community center last night, I taught teens to spot scams. Showed them red flags I learned the hard way. A girl, Mia, caught a pyramid scheme targeting her dad. Numbers don't lie, she said, echoing me. I smiled, seeing my old fire in her. Tonight, I'm honored at a gala. My program's up for an award. No empty seats wait for parents. My chosen family fills them. Colleagues, men's, neighbors who know me, not my shadow. I water the marigolds, the hose, a steady value's not begged for. I murmur, pruning a wilted stem. It grows where you plant it. I built this career home purpose without their applause. The trailers of memory, its walls bare of my wins. I don't need them to see me anymore. I see myself. The sun dips, painting the sky orange, and I breathe deep. I'm free, rooted, strong. A storm that settled into something steady. The past cut me back, but I've grown taller for it. Thanks for joining me on this journey. If this story stirred something in you, drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear them. A simple like means more than, it fuels me to keep crafting these tales day after day. Catch you in the next one.